So I wanted to really just share some experience and thoughts, best practices around company core values, as that's kind of close to my heart. Oh, I'm just trying a new feature that I've never tried before. Right? So individually, we've all got core values, right? You know, even if we haven't quite clarified them, written them down, understood what our core values are in black and white. But they're our guiding light. They help us define who we are, how we act, how we behave. And the same is true for organizations, you know, done the right way, core values drive the culture of the business. They help provide direction. They help employees behave in the right way. They help employees make decisions. So, you know, even without kind of having explicit direction, if the employees are following the core values, they're going to be making good decisions for the company. And core values, you know, used properly, they help attract the right people to the business. They help push away the wrong people from the business. But, you know, my experience is I've seen organizations struggle with core values. Years ago, I worked for a company that did such a bad job of core values, they put me off the whole value of core values. So I wanted to share kind of some positive things around core values. And just to get started on that, I'm going to take a kind of little bit of a back step and talk about core values in EOS, which is, you know, really my main thing, which is the entrepreneurial operating system. And I just want to show you how core values fit into that and what EOS is all about. So EOS really came from the discovery that every entrepreneur is wrestling with like 136 issues simultaneously. And, you know, to the extent you can strengthen the 6 key components of the business, those 136 issues turn out to be symptoms of a true root cause. And as soon as you get strong in the 6 components, then your issues kind of evaporate and go away. Makes life much easier to handle everything. So the 6 key components of the business very, very quickly. I mean, I'd love to explain each of these in details. I've got 8 minutes, so I'm just going to go really quick. It's vision, people, data, issues, process, traction. Suffice to say that within each component here of this, then in EOS, we have 2 tools to help you get 100% strong in each of these components. I don't have time to talk about any of them more than just a little bit of the vision one. To say that within the vision component, the first tool we use is the 8 questions. And we use the 8 questions to help people clarify their vision. And for that, the tool that we have is a vision traction organizer. And this is where we get to the core values part. So the vision traction organizer is a 2-page document. It's a powerful and simple tool to help clarify vision, share vision throughout the business. If anyone wants a blank copy of this, to fill in, to use, to, you know, give to your clients, whatever, I'm happy to send you a blank copy of the vision traction organizer so you can get visions clarified. But the point what I was trying to say is the first question here is core values. So let me get back to core values and say, you know, core values are what we have to define the core values, 3 to 7 core values for the company. You've got to write them down black and white, understand what they are. And the first thing that we've got to do is know what our core values are in the business. What are the organizational core values? What are the culture of the business culture? So to do that, we do a discovery exercise. You know, core values aren't invented, they're discovered. You know, every business does have a culture, and you've got to kind of discover what that culture is. And so we start off with a long list of core values, and then we have to whittle it down to get to the true core values, or we start with a long list of possible core values during the discovery exercise. And what I wanted to introduce was the Patrick Lencioni's value traps, which is a way of taking a long list of possible core values, thinking about them and filtering them out to get to what is really truly your core. So the value traps, there's 3 value traps. I'm going to introduce them one at a time. The first value trap is accidental core values. So these are things that are part of the culture of the business currently. They maybe happened unintentionally. They could hurt you going forwards. For example, you might discover that your business currently has a core value of warrior spirit. It might have got you to where you are, but going forwards, it's going to really hurt the business and stop you getting to where you want to be. Those are accidental core values, and we filter those out of the list of possible core values. The next one is aspirational core values. So these are things you'd love to say about the organization, love to say about the business, but hand on heart, the business isn't that, it's never going to be that. For example, say, the business has an aspirational core value of drives for the impossible. You might wish for that. You might think it would be great if everybody in the business was lined up behind driving for the impossible, but reality is it's never going to happen. You're just dreaming. And the real problem with these aspirational core values is they just sound hollow to employees. As soon as you start talking to the whole business about the core values, the rest of the business is going to feel like you've lost your marbles and management's not in touch with reality. And no one's going to take these core values seriously. So they're aspirational. We have to filter those out. And the last one is permission to play. So permission to play core values are things that everybody has to have. These are fundamental things and values that the business needs to have to be in the market it's in, even to be in business full stop. So very often you see people come up with core values of like integrity and honesty and teamwork. Reality is, if you went to any business and said, what are your core values? What do you look for in employees? Oh, we look for people who've got integrity, honesty, and work in teams. They are not, your unique core values. They're just a permission to play. Without them, you're not going to even be part of the game. So you have to filter out those core values. So discovery exercise, long list of possible core values, remove the accidental ones, remove the aspirational ones, remove the permission to play ones, and start to focus on the things that make your truly unique culture, the culture that you want to drive in the business. So those are Patrick Lencioni's value traps. And then once you have got core values, the thing about them is you have to use them, you have to live them. So you've got 3 to 5 core values. You've got to truly use them, live them, be honest to them if you want to drive the company culture. And that's something I think a lot of businesses go wrong with, that they define some core values, they put them on the website, and that's it, we've done our job, no one ever talks about them ever again. And they're not just a marketing tool. The core values have to be used consistently to hire, fire, reward, recognize. And for that, we use a core values speech. We use a core values speech to explain the core values to everybody, explain what they mean, get the clarity on it, tell everybody the core values every quarter, use the core values as part of recruiting process. When you've got an interviewee in front of you, you tell them, look, these are our core values. This is what that means. If you don't like those core values, if that isn't you, don't come here, because you're never going to succeed unless you share our core values. Use core values as part of staff development, in one-to-ones, in quarterly reviews. Look at how people have succeeded against the company core values. Catch people displaying the core values and celebrate it. When someone does something which fits with your core values, celebrate it. This is what makes the core values really live and be true to the culture. And finally, the core values have to be, the leaders have to stay true. If the business leaders don't stay true to the core values, but actually do things which are against them, it just damages the integrity of the core values, damages the integrity of the company. It's just like a disaster. So those are core values. Very quickly, a little bit about filtering them, understanding, define them, and then really actively living and using them. If you're staying on after 10:30, I'd love to hear about your experiences with core values, whether that's good, bad, or ugly. And I suspect that's my 8 minutes at this point. So thank you very much, and see you all soon.